Hello and welcome to the overview webinar for the Energy Inventory tool offered by the ETAP program, the Energy Technical Assistance and Planning for New Hampshire Communities program. Our agenda for today's webinar is to provide an overview of the inventory tool, to provide a quick demonstration of some of the features, to talk quickly about how to get started using the tool, and then to discuss the support that's available once you are using the tool. To begin with an overview, the inventory tool is a web-based energy information reporting system. It's provided as part of the ETAP program. It's a complement to EPA's Portfolio Manager, so the communities who are using Portfolio Manager can easily use ETAP as the ETAP tool as well and can move data back and forth between the two systems. This tool is available to any New Hampshire town, and it's available free of charge as part of the ETAP program. The benefits of the tool are that it helps communities to learn about their energy use and emissions, to plan by benchmarking buildings and identifying targets for energy efficiency projects, to monitor their energy use and cost over time, and then finally to communicate, to share the results with others. The tool can include energy data for all municipal operations. Buildings, streetlights, both are included. It's available to collect and report data for all fuels, electricity, oil, natural gas, and propane, and also able to report all attributes, including energy use, energy costs, and the emissions associated with energy use. Let's now go and move out of the PowerPoint and take a quick look at the tool itself. So let's say this is an example of one of the reports that's available through the tool. And let's say that as a town you're interested in learning which of your buildings is the largest energy user. This report might be of use. If you look at the box at the bottom of the screen, it shows the energy use for all of the town's buildings, and it ranks them in order of energy use. And you can see from looking on the left that the high school is by far the largest user in the town. The bars show you, by the length of the bar, the amount of energy use per year. And then the colors of the bars show you the breakdown between the different fuels, with electricity in orange, heating oil in this case in green, and propane in purple. You can see that the high school is by far the largest, using both electricity and oil, and then the buildings move down from there, with Town Hall, for example, being a much, much smaller user than the high school. The two charts at the top of the page show the use for the entire town and shows the percentage across the different fuels of MMBTUs on the left and of CO2 emissions on the right. So this chart is designed to give you an overall picture of energy use in the town and then to show which buildings are the largest users. Let's say, though, that the town was interested in identifying which buildings might be the best targets for energy efficiency projects. For that, it might be useful to look at this Buildings to Target report, and that shows which buildings might be the best candidates for energy efficiency projects. Let's begin by looking at the quadrant chart over on the right. That chart shows energy use in a measure of energy efficiency, the use per square foot, on the horizontal axis. And buildings that appear in the upper right-hand quadrant are those buildings that are both big users and they're inefficient, and so they're good targets for energy efficiency projects. The chart, as we're displaying it now, includes all of the town's buildings, but a user might want to concentrate on a subset of those buildings. Let's say, for example, the town wanted to not look at the schools, but to look at the other buildings. All you need to do then is to move over to the checklist over on the right and unselect school. And when you do that, the chart will redraw and you'll see just the buildings other than the school buildings. And now we can see that the police station in the upper right here is both the the highest user and the highest user in that inefficient building quadrant, with Town Hall being the next. Another thing you can do with this chart is see how the buildings rank in their use and cost and emissions. And if we look over here to the chart over on the left-hand side, we see the buildings ranked first by their use per square foot, then by their CO2 emissions, and then by their cost. And the buildings are ranked, ordered now, by their energy use per square foot, but a town might be more interested in seeing first which buildings are the highest energy cost. You can reorder the chart to show it that way. And you do that simply by clicking on cost down at the bottom, and then moving up to the top and choosing the sort button. And if we click that button, you'll see that the buildings will be reordered according to cost, from the highest cost building to the lowest. And you see that the police station is the highest, and then fire headquarters the next. So the charts on this page are designed to help the town to target their buildings, to identify which buildings you might want to focus on for energy efficiency efforts. The next use of the inventory tool is for monitoring, to look at how buildings are performing over time. And for that purpose, you might want to look at the building dashboard report. We're showing an example here for a fire station. If we look at the chart to the right, we see the monthly use for the fire station, for electricity on the top, and for gas down on the bottom. You see the months going across, and then each of the different years is shown in a different color, with fiscal 08 being a dark green, and then you'll see the most recent year, fiscal 2011, in orange. What this chart enables you to do is to monitor energy use in the building to see how it's performing. And what you can see through this chart, by looking at the months together like this, you can see that this building, this fire station, uses its most electricity in the summer months. These years are fiscal years, beginning with July. So it's using its most electricity in the summer months. On the other hand, if we look down on gas, we see that it uses the most gas in the winter, as you would expect. By stacking the years on top of each other in the different colors as we have, we can see that fiscal 09 gas use stands out as being higher than the others. If you want to concentrate on just one particular year, you can do that by highlighting the year over in the box on the right. If, for example, you wanted to concentrate on fiscal 10, you just need to click it, and what will happen is that year will remain in color, and the other years will gray out. So you'll still see what happened in the other years, but the year you're most interested in will be the most prominent. If we look to the charts over on the left, we can learn more about the energy performance of the building. These charts show use on the top in the blue and cost trends in the bottom in the green. Each of the vertical bars shows the monthly use on the top or the monthly cost on the bottom. And the black lines show a rolling sum and rolling 12-month sum. And the purpose of that is to see an overall trend in use for the building. Is it going up or down? The last thing we wanted to talk about is communicate. Let's say, for example, that you wanted to demonstrate these charts to someone else. They're available online through the tool itself, but you can also export any of these views as an image file, which you could put into a PowerPoint presentation or into a Word document. And that's easily done right here on the page by selecting this download button at the top and then choosing whether you'd like to see the data in an image file or in a database format or in a crosstab, which is an Excel file, or to put it into a PDF. Any of those are available just by clicking on the button. So that's a quick overview or quick tour through some of the reports available in the tool. There are many others that you'll learn as you start to use it. Go back now to the PowerPoint presentation to walk through the final points. How to get started. To start using the tool, of course, you need to be set up in the tool, and to do that, what we need to understand is the structure of the town, what buildings you have, and how they connect with utility accounts. We ask you to provide that information in a spreadsheet form that the program provides, and once you have that, we can set you up in the inventory tool. The next thing we need is the energy data that goes with those accounts, your monthly use and your monthly cost, and we can work with you there to either bring in data that you might have collected already or to help to acquire that data from your utilities so that we can bring it into the tool. And then the final thing we need to know is who is authorized to use it. The data is only made available to people that the town authorizes, and we have some simple forms for the town to fill out to indicate who's allowed to use the tool. Once you become a user, there's support available. There are resources, help resources available online, and we also have a technical support team who's available to you by email to answer any questions that you have and to help make you to use the tool and to use it successfully. That brings us to the conclusion of the webinar. If you have more information, there's additional information about the inventory tool available online at www.etapnhc.org. Thank you very much.